Start with the name of Allah, the most merciful, the grateful. Dear students of class first year, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome you in Pakistan International School at Taif's virtual learning system. How are you, dear students? Hope you all are well, fine, and working hard with the studies. Dear students, we have today the English lecture number 18. This is grade first year, and we are going to learn unit 22, the progress one act play. Dear students, this is the last lecture of our course, class first year English, and this is unit 22. This is last unit of the book, new book, and we are going to learn page number 203 to 228. And here's your teacher, Sarfaz Nadeem. Dear students, I wanted to add over here. This is last lecture, in lecture number 17. We completed the unit 21, the poem. And here we have unit 22 in the one act play, the progress. And this is last unit of the new book. And now, according to the Federal Board Islamabad revised and reduced syllabus, we have completed our course. And today's last lecture. And today, as you know, that we have one act play. It's a long play. And so the summary has been shared with you in today's lecture. So first we have the unit outcomes. Let's see what we have the unit outcomes of this unit. Unit 22, dear students, and unit outcomes are here. By the end of the unit, the students will be able to read the text to make connections between characters, events, motives, and causes of conflicts in text across cultures, distinguish between flexible and inflexible characters, describe how a character changes over the course of story, express justification for change in character, recognize genres of literature like fiction, notification, poetry, legend, one act play, analyze the conflict in a story or literary selection, explore options to resolve the conflict, propose another resolution, identify and describe the function of the set design, dialogue, soliloquies, and asides in one act plays, analyze the story, one act play elements, characters, events, setting, plot, theme, tone, point of view, identify the speaker or narrator in a selection, recognize the author's purpose and point of view and their effects on text, identify universal themes present in literature across all cultures, use summary skill to extract salient points and develop mind map to summarize a text, and recognize and use varying intonation patterns as aids in spoken written. So use various reference sources to refine vocabulary, purpose, speech, and writing according to required communicative functions. So these all are the outcomes of the unit, the progress of one act plays written by St. John Green Erwin. This is unit 22. Let's see what we have in summary. As I have told you, that this is a long lesson and it starts from 205 pages to 221. So I have selected for you the summarized and summary of this whole play. We have the progress, a play in one act, dear students. We have characters, Professor Henry Corey and Mrs. Malden, a sister of the Professor Henry Corey, and Hannah, a servant. Three characters are involved in this play, dear students. Let's start to read the summary of the today's play. Summary of the play, Progress. Progress by St. John Grier is a powerful anti-war play. It presents Professor Corey talking excitedly about his destructive bomb to his sister, Mrs. Malden, who has recently lost her only son in war. Professor Corey is busy with his experiment. He is happy and proud as his experiment has proved a success. His sister, Mrs. Malden, is grieved. stricken as she has lost her only son, Ide, in the First World War. She lost her husband also in the war. Corey advises her not to think about the past. Corey rejoices over his invention as it can destroy a vast city in a few seconds. He says that the success of the war will depend on how strikes first and what kind of weapons he uses. Mrs. Malden gently reminds him that his invention will lead to the death of hundreds of young men like her son Ide, but he ignores her words and gloats over his invention and the fame and wealth. He says that he will sell his bomb to the government, which grants him the highest amount of money. When Mrs. Malden is convinced that her brother will not suppress his invention at any cost, she decides to do away with him along with his invention. She destroys the sheets of paper on which Corey has written the formula, but Corey is not upset. He says that the formula remain embedded in his brain and he can reproduce them easily. Mrs. Malden cannot tolerate his unhumanity anymore. When he stoops to pick up the sheets, she stabs him on the back with a knife and kills him. She feels that this is justifiable revenge against the murder of her son on the occasion of his death anniversary. So, dear students, this is about the a summary of the play progress. Actually, as I told you, this is the huge play with more than 15 to 17 pages. So if you can read it as in your book from page number 205, 6, 7, and it will continue to 221. So have we have a summary that there is a Professor Kore and he is scientist and he's trying to invent a bomb, but his sister, Mrs. Malden, lost her son and husband in the World War. So she was against the war and such kind of weapons. But Mrs. Uh, Professor Kore was quite happy and glad that he invented a bomb and he wanted to sell this to government to earn money. And she was trying to convince Professor Kore not to make these dangerous weapons for human because they are killing to the human people both sides whatever, but he didn't convince from the Mrs. Malden and she tried to torn and destroy the sheets where he was inventing the bomb and weapons like this, but Mr. said Mr. Professor Kore said. So here, dear students, and then Mrs. Malden thought that if and Mr. Professor said that no issue, if you have destroyed my sheet and you destroyed my things over here, but the formula is in my mind, and I will make it again. Then Mrs. Malden just put a knife in his chest and he just killed Mr. Professor Kore, his brother, and he thought that I got the revenge of my son because if he will not make the bomb, the humanity will be not destroyed by the such dangerous weapons. So this is all about the summary of the play progress. This is about, dear students, about the author. St. John Grier Erwin was born on December 20th, 1883, Belfast, Ireland, and died on January 24 in 1971, London, England. He is a British playwright, novelist, and critic. Evans' best known plays are Mixed Marriage in 1911, Jane Clegg in 1930, and John Ferguson 1915. After World War I, Erwin settled in London and became a drama critic for The Observer. He wrote books on drama as The Organized Theatre in 1924 and The Theatre in My Time in 1933. His later plays comedies such as The First Mrs. Fraser in 1928, Rousing London Success, Robert's Wife in 1937, and Private Enterprise in 1947. Avin also wrote biographies of William Booth, Oscar Wilde, and George Bernard Shaw. His novels include Francis Place, The Tailor of Charing Cross, 1912, and Alice and a Family, 1915. So this is all about, dear students, about the author, and then we have glossary and a few difficult words and their meanings, like dominated by means completely under the influence or control of, sections, drawings which demonstrate the way pieces of machinery like this, airships lighter than air, and cruel lines about it, casual visitor without any special interest in the people of the house. So there, here we have the phrases or words given and their meanings. And then, dear students, we have a reading comprehension on page number 226. The questions like what is the significance of the title of the play Progress, or what is the central idea of the play Progress? Describe the climax of the play Progress in few lines. So definitely the answers will be given to you, inshallah. And they are in the preparing, inshallah. We are trying to uh, prepare as soon as possible. Now, dear students, we have a vocabulary and grammar exercises. Vocabulary, fill in the blanks with words related to medicine. Use the words in brackets to form a new word that fits into each blank. You can consult any authentic source if you don't know the meaning of these words. So let's start to fill the blanks. Thanks to modern medicine, there are many new dish. Now, treat, the word treat is in brackets, so we have to put the word according to this. So new treatments for diseases which in the past were incurable. Cure is the word, and incurable. Many childhood ill, so illness, for example, have disappeared. This is due to the use of vaccinations. Now, medicine is here. Medical advances have also changed the way surgical operations are performed. These are less painful for the patient than they used to be. But fortunate is given the word, unfortunately, we will use in third world countries a high number of infection. The word is given over here. So we will say infectious diseases are still common because of overpopulation and poor living conditions. Uh, Malnutrition, which is caused by insufficient food, is one of the many problems which can threaten children's lives in these countries. With today's technology, there is no reason that a solution to these problems should be beyond our capability. So the exercise A about the vocabulary is done. Now we have a grammar section, and we have two exercise A and B. In exercise A, we have active and passive voice crime story. The police has just announced. The word announce, a verb is in the bracket. So third form of verb is put over here with the has helping verb. That the bank was robbed yesterday. Number three, two men entered the bank at 4:30 with guns in their hands. Number four, customers and bank clerks were asked to lie down on the floor, and one of the bank clerks was made to fill the robbers' bags with money. Uh, um, After that, the two men left the bank quickly. So now 6, 7, 8, dear students, three sentences are given as a homework to fill with these words, like leaves, we put left. So you have to put the injury or injured or what close like this. Then we have exercise B. We have the student ask questions about the robbery. What time did the two men enter the bank at 4:30. Now, why we put enter first form? Because did is already over here. So when we have a past tense, we will put first form of the verb. Number two, what were the customers and bank clerks asked to do? And number three, what was one of the clerics made to do? And number four, how much money dashed by the robbers? So what will be here? How much money? So I think it will be easy for you. 4, 5, 6, 3 sentence your homework in exercise A and 3 in exercise B. I think this is quite easy for you to finish it. Here's homework, dear students, about the grammar section. We have exercise A, sentence number 6 to 8, and exercise B, sentence number 4 to 6. This is only three sentences your homework for practice. This is all about today's lecture, dear students. In this lecture, we have completed the last unit 22 and the play progress. And the question and answers of the play you try to write in your words. If not, then inshallah, they will be prepared by me in the form of the notes and will be sent to you in inshallah as soon as possible. So thank you for joining in today's lecture. And this is last lecture. Again, I'm going to repeat. Hope so you understood all the things. If even you have any query, any problem, you can ask me on Zoom meeting after this lecture, or you can text me on WhatsApp as well. Thank you for joining and have a pleasant time and working hard with your studies, dear students. Hope so we'll see you again in classes, inshallah. That's it. Till that, dear students, Allah Hafiz and goodbye.